this example, we're talking about combinations. Okay, so here's our problem. Suppose you want to buy 3 CDs from a selection of 7 CDs. How many combinations are possible? Now, I want to remind you that in general, when you get a problem like this, it's not going to always tell you if you're looking for combinations or permutations. It's important to know the difference between combinations and permutations. Here, of course, we see the word combinations, but I want to remind you, we're using combinations because the order does not matter. We're selecting 3 items from 7 possible items. Doesn't matter which CD we pick first or second or third. The point is we're selecting 3 from 7, and the order does not matter. So that's a combination problem. Okay, I also want to remind you, here's the formula over here. NCR, where we're selecting R items from n possible items, is equal to n factorial over n minus r factorial times r factorial. And we do have a calculator video corresponding to this, how to find NCR with the calculator. And many people prefer to use the calculator. And that's perfectly okay. In this example, we're talking about how to use the formula. Okay, so it's 7 items and we're selecting 3. So that's 7 C3 is going to equal 7 factorial over 7 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial. And that's going to become 4 factorial right here, because 7 minus 3 is 4 factorial. Okay, now I want to remind you what a factorial is. 7 factorial means 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's going to be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 4 factorial is going to be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. Now, when we get this situation, there's no hard set rule on how to perform the calculation. I'm going to just cancel in the way that comes to mind first. Okay, these 4s will cancel. These 3s will cancel. These 2s will cancel. And now look at what we have in the numerator, 7 times 6 times 5. Look at what's left in the bottom, 3 times 2. And you might notice 3 times 2 is 6. So actually, this 3 times 2 can cancel with the 6 up here. And what we're left with up top is just 7 times 5 times 1. Down bottom, we're just left with 1 times 1. So this is going to be 35 over 1, which is equal to 35. And that is the final answer. So 35 combinations are possible when we're selecting 3 CDs from 7 CDs. So 35 is the final answer. There's 35 combinations. Okay, and one final comment. I also want to remind you again that we do have a calculator problem corresponding to this, and I recommend you check out the calculator problem corresponding to combinations.